Alright, so as I mentioned in my execution video, I was able to go to the Gears of War Judgment community tour that was happening in Seattle, and here is my video giving my thoughts on the game, and just as much information as I can get you guys about the game from my experience there. So first of all, I want to thank Epic for putting this on, and especially this crew of guys right here for going all the way out into the Northwest and setting it up for us and hanging out with us and just showing us the game and having a good time. Honestly, it was worth trekking all the way out there just for the piles of loot that they had there. They had free pizza for everyone, which was cool, and they had a whole ton of stuff like I won a t-shirt, a hoodie, and some posters, and some avatar stuff, unlockables. Although I was not nearly as lucky as this guy here, who managed to win one of the portable Xbox setups that we play tested on. They were pretty sweet. So here you can see what we're playing on. They had these really cool little Xbox suitcases which opened up, they had an Xbox in the bottom and a screen in the lid, and so they set those down on the tables and let's go. And it was a good time. I was able to play 2 games of Overrun, 2 games of Domination, and 1 game of TDM. And I'm going to post that second video, which has a more in-depth breakdown of each game mode and my look at weapon balance, and it's particularly the sawed-off and the Nasher, so this video doesn't take a trillion years. One of the things which I wanted to do when I was out there was talk to the producers and ask some of the questions that you guys sent me. And so I was able to talk to Alan Slyke for quite a while and ask him quite a few questions. So apparently the 2 new modes that are included in the season pass are not revealed yet. They won't tell us what they are. They're still shrouded in mystery, but we do know that they are on top of Execution. So we're going to have 3 total new modes on top of the 4 modes that the game is shipped with. So that's some good news, but no news yet on what those individual modes are. And the other thing I asked about was character models, if they have a list of those, and specifically if we have a Carmine in the next game, because I really love playing as the Carmines. Unfortunately, I was disappointed we did not have an official list yet, but they did pretty strongly hint that some information along those lines was going to drop this week. So hopefully that drops so we can get some information about the multiplayer characters. On the subject of characters, I was asked about whether or not Survival had the character classes locked to the character models like they do in Overrun, and unfortunately that is the case. They confirmed that. As of right now, the Survival character classes and the character models are locked together. But Alan Slyke did seem to be pretty receptive to the possibility of having those unlocked later, and to where we could have at least a certain set number of characters which you can choose for that class. I guess one of the reasons why it's a difficulty is because of the amount of memory it will take to load all those various character models and all the Locust character models in the same map. It's a good thing because we have apparently we have a whole lot of variety in the Locust and a lot of cool monsters, but then again we are limited our character models, so hopefully they can work that out later. So on the whole, it was just a really cool event to be able to talk to the producers, and just playing the game was a lot of fun. And there was this really awesome family there, where there's a mom, a dad, and 2 girls who all were huge fans of the game, and they all played together. And honestly, one of the girls was probably the best user of the marks that was there at the event. All the games I saw her playing, she got Headhunter, so I'm glad that someone out there can use the rifle. I completely sucked with it, but it does have potential if used properly. So I'll just wrap up this video with a quick overview of the things I liked about the game and the things I didn't like about the game. The good things are, Overrun is completely awesome. It is an excellent game mode. It looks like it has a ton of depth and a ton of strategies that can be developed and tried. And I'm just stoked about the prospect of developing those strategies and playing with my friends and just having a really good time with it. I will go over the details and of what I thought about Overrun in my next video. The control scheme is good. I really like the control scheme, especially the speed of the weapon swapping. I actually really did like the offhand grenade. It was pretty cool, although because it was mapped to the right bumper, I did blow myself up occasionally while trying to TACCOM. and there was not nearly as much of a grenade rain as I thought there'd be upon initial encounter. The encounters were spread out enough to where you didn't have that like hail of grenades at the first meeting. Although as the teams learn the maps and know the best power weapons, there might be that around the boom shot or the most coveted weapon on the map. The controls felt good and responsive. I felt like the alternate controls especially had a little bit better response doing the rolling around the corners and not having to push your X twice and stuff like that. And all your movement just felt very, very similar to the Gears 3, so you're not going to lose your shotgun edge of your wall bouncing and your strafing. It's all right there and all the same. And I did also like that the sensitivity settings were the same as they are in Gears 3, so you can go right to your options menu, and select the numbers that you're used to, and you'll have the same gameplay experience. You don't have to do any trial and error to figure out what sensitivity settings are in the new game. I did have a couple things which I didn't like about the game. The first being the locus being removed from the domination and TDM modes. The cog I just wasn't feeling it. It just doesn't. It's not the same gritty Gears feel with cogs killing other cogs, and they're basically just angry about them being the wrong color. And I think in execution mode it's going to feel even more that way when you have the brutal executions, the curb stomps and the head chops and all that stuff, and you have humans doing it and other humans. That'll feel off to me. And the other thing I didn't like was the rifle deaths were pretty underwhelming with the flung over animation. I was hoping that since so many deaths are going to be by ranged weapons, rifles and pistols, that they'd have a little more variety in how people go down whenever they're killed at range. I didn't really notice it. So that was a little disappointing there. So there you have my overall view of the game. I really liked it, and I think it's a great game, and I cannot wait to play it again. So I'll see you guys on March 19th. Actually, a little earlier, because I'm getting the GameStop Overrun 3-day early demo. See you guys then.